School provides support to students with developmental and learning disabilities and students on the autism spectrum. And they also use music to help kids communicate in ways they otherwise wouldn't, all through their music therapy program. Here with me now to tell us more about how the program is making a difference, music therapists Alec, and Dara. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
For those who haven't heard of the Wildwood School and the programs that it offers, tell me about it.
So our school is part of our larger Wildwood programs. We're in Schenectady. We've been around in some iteration or another for over 50 years. And we serve students with intellectual disabilities, primarily autism, but other diagnoses, complex behavioral needs, etc. We have a music therapy program that is very fortunate to have two full-timers, me and Dara right now. Program's been around almost 45 years of our existence. And between the two of us, we run about 70 sessions a week, ranging from group classes to individuals to electives to special events.
We might be familiar with how a music class is run in a traditional school setting, but how is music therapy different from a regular music class?
Yeah, so on the outside, it looks like we're having fun. I'm playing the guitar, students are engaging and playing different types of instruments, but all of our approaches in individual and group sessions, we have the ability to, everything is structured and we have intention behind what we're doing. So it looks like maybe we're throwing scarves up in the air, but we're working on fine and gross motor skills and social communication with the students involved in that session for today.
How do you see the students change throughout a session or maybe after multiple sessions of being part of it?
I think what we see, if we're talking about speech and language communication, there's improvement in that over time. So that's really exciting to see. We may have students that are nonverbal in just daily conversation, but when the music is starting, we see expressive communication coming out, which is incredible and fascinating.
Why is this a field you wanted to go into?
I mean, for me, I was a lifelong musician, born and raised in the area, and I did some work in the human services realm in my 20s down in New York City, and was in a pretty high behavior room, a lot of sort of adults who could exhibit aggression when they were upset, and I would start bringing in instruments just because that's what I knew, and you know, was impressed by how calming it was, how centering it was, how pretty much everybody relates to music in some way. And so the light bulb went off and I was like, oh, I can go into this field. And so 10 years later, full-time music therapist.
So cool. I know that all of us can relate to music moving us. If we're in a bad mood, sometimes we'll put on a sad song to reinforce those feelings or a happy song to make us feel better.
Absolutely.
What is it about music that connects us to our feelings and kind of brings us to the present?
So this is a really exciting time for music therapy. We now know through neuroimaging scans and a mapping of the brain that music is processed in all areas of the brain. So those are areas responsible for, just like what you said, bringing out emotion, maybe looking into memory and learning, problem solving, and also helping regulate some more of those emotions and dealing with motor skills. So it's really incredible.
Memory sticks out to me because there's always that joke that, like, why can I remember all the lyrics to all these songs? I can't remember what I did yesterday. So music definitely sticks with us. What do you hope people maybe understand or learn about the different ways to communicate with children with special needs that, you know, it goes beyond just therapy in the traditional sense, right? What do you hope this changes for people's perception of how kids can receive help?
Sure. I mean, we are fortunate to do a lot of like interdisciplinary work at Wildwood. Shout out to our speech department. We have like 15 speech therapists who are amazing. We work together with them. And the way we refer to it is like total communication. The idea that any form of communication is valid, whether it's verbal language, use of a communication device, pointing, gestures, utterances, sounds. You know, a big part of our programming is just trying to get our students to communicate, because we get a lot of students who may start as nonverbal communicators and may develop a whole array of skills to, reach out to us and each other. And music can play a really big role in that. It just seems like everybody has a connection to music, and some of our students might say, oh, I don't like music, but then we realize they have a video game song, or they have a TV theme song they like, or maybe from church they're connected to music.
Right.
So, we want to shine a light on the fact that all communication is valid, and if we can play a small role in getting a student to verbalize or communicate with other folks, that's part of our job, and that's something wonderful that we can do as music therapists.
Really important work that you're both doing. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us about this program. And by the way, if you have an idea for the Upside, a story about people doing good in the community, send it to us. Our email address is on your screen, news@news10.com. Alec and Dara, thank you again for coming in.